The information in this webinar is not intended to treat or cure any disease and is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Barrier number 1. Now, barrier number 1 is what I call toxic overload. We are all living in a really toxic environment. Many of the toxins around us are invisible, and we don't even know that they're there, but they create a massive impact on how we look, how we feel, and our daily performance. They even influence our genetic expression. There are more than 80,000 chemicals in our environment, and many of them are difficult to avoid, and many of us don't even know they exist. In fact, most of us are born with an immense toxic burden that we have no idea is there. Studies have shown that newborns have more than 200 toxic chemicals in their umbilical cord blood, so that's kind of where we're starting. If we are going to solve the problem of toxic overload, the first thing we need to do is develop awareness of the toxins around us. We need to identify what toxins are in our environment, where they come from, and the biological impact they have on our bodies. So just as a brief overview, we need to know where all these toxins are coming from and how are they getting into our bodies. First of all, there are internal toxins and external toxins. Let's talk about the external toxins first. External toxins come from all the things outside of us. They come from common foods that most of us eat every day, like flour, sugar, industrial seed oils, hydrogenated fats, preservatives, food packaging, and food additives. We've also got toxins coming in from things like tobacco, alcohol, drugs, tap water, the air, body and home products, and hidden pollution in our living and working environments such as mold, lead, fire retardants, chemicals, and plastic toxins like BPA. In addition to the countless external toxins we're exposed to, there are internal toxins coming from inside of us, from the parasites, viruses, bacteria, and fungus inside of us. If we have negative emotions, self-talk, or negative relationships, those also create internal toxins. And if we're under constant stress, the stress response creates a toxic environment inside of us as well. Now, our bodies are pretty amazing, and they're built to deal with a certain level of toxic substances. But if more toxins are coming into our body than are being eliminated from our body, we get what's called toxic overload. To illustrate toxic overload, let's talk about plumbing. So first I want you to imagine your favorite bathroom appliance. You have one, right? Sink, toilet, bathtub, whatever you want. Now imagine that the water is on full blast and the drain is open. Or then maybe you've just flushed the toilet. What happens? Nothing, right? Why? Because bathtubs, toilets, and sinks are designed for water to flow into and out of them. Now, imagine that the faucet is stuck in the on position, running full blast, or maybe the handle of your toilet is stuck down. Now what happens? Well, if the drain is open and water is still able to flow out, you still should be fine. Maybe the basin starts to fill up a little, but as long as the water keeps draining out, it's not going to flow over. Now, imagine that someone tried to flush a bunch of paper towels down the toilet, or maybe there's hair in the bathtub drain clogging it, or maybe you have a high mineral content in your water and the pipes are very narrow because of the calcium content. Now what happens if the faucet is on full blast? Well, you have a flood on your hands. Why? Because you have more water going into the appliance than can drain out. This situation is very similar to what happens in our bodies. Our bodies are designed to handle some toxins. We have several detoxification pathways that remove the toxic buildup in our cells and organs. In this example, the faucet of your bathroom appliance can be likened to the flow of toxins in and out of your body from the environment. The basin of the bathroom appliance is likened to your body, and the pipes in the drain out of the basin are representing the organs of elimination in your body, such as your liver, your skin, kidneys, intestines, lungs, and lymphatic system. Now, just like different sized appliances have different capacities and different plumbing issues, some people have different toxic thresholds or different detoxification capabilities, and toxins might be coming in at different rates and from different places with different people. This is why you might see two people eating the same diet and living in the same environment, and one of those people has symptoms of illness and the other one does not. So keep in mind that although the basic rules of plumbing or detoxification apply to everyone, each individual may need a personalized solution for their individual needs. Now, when you turn on the faucet, when the drain is clogged in your bathtub, what's going to happen? Eventually, you'll exceed the capacity of the basin and you'll get a flood. Your bathtub will overflow. When your body overflows with toxins, this can manifest in many different ways, such as cellular malfunction, disease, pain, illness, depression, and other chronic illnesses. Now, how does this play out in terms of symptoms and diseases? Exceeding your toxic threshold can really affect your appearance or the way you look. It can cause water retention, trouble losing weight. It can cause rashes, skin problems, eczema, psoriasis, acne, puffy dark circles under your eyes, or bad breath. Exceeding your toxic threshold can also affect the way you feel. It can cause fatigue, muscle aches, joint pain, sinus congestion, postnasal drip, excessive sinus problems, headaches, bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea, foul-smelling stools, heartburn, and canker sores. Now, exceeding your toxic threshold can also affect your performance. It can make it so you don't sleep very well or have difficulty concentrating. It can cause you to have food cravings, premenstrual syndrome, or other menstrual disorders. It can cause you to have sexual dysfunction or infertility. Now, exceeding your toxic threshold can also create disease environments in your body, and some of the toxicity-related diseases are probably pretty familiar to you. They include things like nervous system disorders like Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, autism, ADD or ADHD, depression, and other mood disorders. It can cause cardiovascular problems like heart disease or high blood pressure. It can cause musculoskeletal disorders like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, arthritis, respiratory diseases like asthma, sinus problems. It can create immune system disorders like cancer or food allergies or autoimmune diseases. It can really mess with your digestive system. Conditions like Crohn's disease, ulcers, and colitis. It can also mess up your reproductive system and give you problems with irregular menstrual cycles, heavy bleeding, cramps, PMS, infertility, and menopause problems. Now, if you have one or more of these symptoms or diseases, it's probably time for you to start the detoxifying process right now. There are lots and lots of ways to detox, but it's super important to do it the right way. If you don't do it the right way, you might cause yourself more harm than benefit. But don't worry, I'm going to teach you how to detox the right way, so keep on listening. Now, if problem number one or barrier number one is toxic overload, then step one for creating great health, or solution number one to that problem, is to decrease your toxic load. Now, you can decrease your toxic load in two ways. First of all, you can stop the toxins from coming into your body. Second of all, you can accelerate the detoxification pathways out of your body so that your body can eliminate the toxins more efficiently and effectively. So once we're aware and educated about where all these toxins are coming from and how the toxins affect our health, we can start taking action steps to reduce the amount of toxins coming into our bodies and increase the detoxification pathways coming out of our bodies by making changes in the internal and external environments around us. Now, as you start making changes in your environment, make sure that they are holistic and sustainable. Before doing a cleanse or making any changes, first ask yourself, can I see myself doing this consistently as part of my lifestyle 5 years from now? If the answer is no, it's probably not a sustainable change and you should choose a different change, something that you can stick with for good. Second, I need you to ask yourself if you're trying to fix an isolated symptom or if you're healing yourself on all different levels. Although intensive and specific cleanses have their place, most of us just don't need to only cleanse our colon or only cleanse our liver. We don't only need to lose belly fat or get rid of the cellulite on our thighs or clear up our acne or just lower our blood pressure. We need to heal our whole bodies and detox our whole environment, our home, our workplace, our relationships, our thoughts, our diet, and our whole body on a cellular, psychological, and spiritual and energetic level. And when you try to just fix an isolated part of you while you ignore the rest of your body, you will never ever get the results that you want, and you certainly won't get results that last. But when you learn to put it all together and live in a non-toxic life and environment, you'll become more attractive on the outside, you'll become more healthy and happy on the inside. Why? because your body is a reflection of your environment. And when you change your environment, your body will just change effortlessly. We always have to go back to that universal truth. We are a product of our environment. Now, remember what I said about detoxifying the right way. Rule number 1 of detoxification is that you need to be realistic and systematic about your goals, and you have to avoid overwhelm. Your body is exposed to toxins every single day, so detoxification should be a daily activity. So that means if you are exposed to toxins all year round, a 3-day detox once a year is not going to be a permanent solution for your health problems. And the other thing is detoxifying too much or too fast, or doing a cleanse that is too short and not supported, can actually be more harmful than helpful. Our body and our brains are hardwired to maintain what's called homeostasis. And homeostasis means that your body likes things to stay the same all the time, even if it's bad for you. And your body likes to keep things nice and predictable. So when you make drastic changes way too quickly, your body puts up a protection mechanism and starts to freak out and try to protect you. And this is when it gets really hard to sustain behavior changes long term. You need to work at the right pace for you and do it systematically so that the most important things get done first. And that way you'll get quick results without causing your body and brain to fight against you. And I think that's what we all want, right? We want quick results, but we also want lasting results. Now, I've talked a lot about some big picture things out there, but I want to make this easy and simple for you. After all, I did call this program the 3 Simple Steps. So I want you to be able to make simple action steps today that will help you look better, feel better, and perform better right away. And the most important thing you can do to decrease your toxic load right now is to go get a drink of water. Drinking the right amount of clean, filtered water every day helps you reduce your toxic load in several ways. First of all, drinking pure filtered water dilutes toxins that have built up in your body and makes them less potent and less toxic. I like the saying that dilution is a solution to pollution. Second of all, water helps you to flush toxins out of your body through your detoxification pathways, which are your liver, your kidney, your colon, your lymph, and your skin. If you're dehydrated, your organs of elimination just cannot work properly. Third, if you drink enough water every day, the water you drink can replace other beverages that put a big toxic burden on your body, like soda, caffeinated drinks, alcohol, and sometimes coffee. Now, for our action steps today, I want you to do one thing that will make the biggest difference really quickly, and that's to get into a daily water routine. What I recommend for my patients is to start out your day with between 1 and 2 liters of filtered water before you do anything else. So immediately when you wake up, before you eat, before you shower, before you do anything else, get in that 1 to 2 liters of water. And if you want to add an extra detoxification kick to your water, you can squeeze a fresh lemon into your water, and that will actually help your liver to be able to do a little extra detoxification work, and it'll also help your body to be more alkaline, which helps you to detoxify. Now, a lot of people ask how to calculate how much water they need, and it's a really simple calculation. You just take your weight, divide it in half, and that's how many ounces you need to be drinking per day minimum. So, for instance, if you weigh 150 pounds, half of that is 75, and so you would need to be drinking 75 ounces of water every day minimum. Now, I also recommend that you schedule your drinking throughout the day and you don't drink during your meals. So a good routine to get into is to drink as much as you can first thing in the morning, then drink between breakfast and lunch so that you're not inhibiting digestion because you have too much water in your stomach with the food, and drink also between lunch and dinner and then before bed. And if you get into the habit of keeping yourself really hydrated every day, it can really help with your detoxification. Now, if you are doing sports or you're in a really hot climate, you're sweating a lot, or if you're under a lot of stress, or if you've just created an increased toxic load for your body, perhaps you ate a lot of sugar or junk food or drank some alcohol, you need to drink even more than that minimum amount of water that we just calculated. Now, people ask me what kind of water is the best water to drink, and I don't recommend drinking straight tap water out of the tap. It's got a lot of nasty chemicals in it, and that we don't want to increase our toxic load with. So I recommend either a home filtration system, or reverse osmosis water, or spring water that has not been bottled in plastic. If your water has been bottled in plastic, the plastic toxins get into the water, and that also increases your toxic load. So a filtered or reverse osmosis water that has not been bottled in plastic is your best option. Now, if you don't like the taste of plain water, and I get this all the time from my patients, ugh, I hate the taste of plain water, what do I do? Check out my resource guide that I'm going to give you access to at the end of this webinar, and I will show you a bunch of ways to flavor your water so it tastes amazing, but it's also super healthy for you. Now, if you're already drinking enough water during the day and you want a simple step to get you going, the second thing you can start doing is just start eliminating foods that create a toxic burden on your body, like fast food, packaged food, any kind of processed food, soda, refined sugar, refined flour, refined oils, food packaging, commercial dairy, and food additives. And I know that's a long list, so that's just for the people that already have the daily water consumption under their belts.